It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
Yo.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you?
I can barely hear you.
Jesus, what the?
Okay, no. Now you're coming through.
Okay, all right.
Jesus Christ.
I know, right? Damn.
First time we've been on here in a long time, and just technology does not want to work. Anyways, say something else.
New York Knicks are winning this game by 11 points. 9 points, excuse me.
Yeah, I was watching the whole game. They were down, I don't know by how many in the third quarter, and they just come roaring back by just knocking down all these threes. And, I mean...
That's... The funny thing is that's been the trend all, like, from April on. That was, like, the whole trend. Like, we get beat up in the first half, and then the second, late third quarter... Like, it's the reverse of what we used to be, like, a couple of years ago. Like, we used to double up on teams in the first half, and then in the second half, teams come roaring back and beat us every single time. But this year it's in reverse. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's good to see you guys do well. I mean, because, I mean, when you think of basketball, you know, New York is probably one of the first, you know, states, you know, you think of. You know, it's the mecca of basketball. You know, Madison Square Garden is the world's most famous arena. You think of two things: WrestleMania and the Knicks, and two of those things have not been relevant, for a very long time. But you know, it's good to see you guys do well. I mean, you have a good looking team. You have a very good looking young team. Because I mean, this is really no offense to Julius Randle, but when you look at the team, there's really no like superstars.
It's not. So he's a big fish in a small pond.
Right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I would say he's adequate to where he's at. He fits into the system, you know, more so than what he did when he was in LA or, you know, New Orleans. This is his team. But there's really no stars on this team. There's just a lot of really hungry guys, really hungry young guys. I mean, I guess you can maybe say Rose is a star. I mean, even though he's not the Rose of, you know, Chicago fame, but he's still out there just playing like Derrick Rose from Chicago.
Yeah, and he's playing smart. It's not a lot of pressure. I mean, look at that. I mean, the roar of the crowd, the energy, man. I'm sorry, just like my friend Tia said just now. The Nets, you know, you can talk about the Nets all you want, but the Nets will never have that energy. The Nets will never have the energy the Knicks have. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, I don't know if you're like a big baseball guy, but like, I've noticed like, you know, with our mutual friends like Draper or, you know, Kevin or Trez, you know, they're more Mets fans than they are Yankees fans. Do you think
I'm a Yankees fan.
Okay, well, you're a Yankees fan, but do you think it's like with Yankees, there's maybe, I don't want to say less fans because there's a lot of Yankees fans, but do you think that the Mets have more of a better following because it seems more of like a homegrown team rather than the Yankees because the Yankees seem more commercial?
OP'd. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I love the Yankees more so for the history.
Right.
And, you know, just the look, like my favorite players are all on that team too. I mean, I have no ill will against the Mets at all. Like if the Mets make it and the Yankees don't, I root for the Mets because at the end of the day, that's New York. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Nets, like if the Nets make it or whatever, like that's cool because they're winning a chip in Brooklyn, but that's not my team. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, just like the Jets and the Giants, I'm a Giants fan, but I root for the Jets and the Bills too whenever they, you know. So, because at the end of the day, it's New York. New York is getting a championship parade or something like that. Like I would not be mad at that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So.
I'm kind of the same way.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's my whole ideology behind it.
Right, I'm kind of the same way with Texas. You know me, I'm a Spurs fan. I root for the Spurs. And if the Mavericks are doing well, I cheer for them. I don't like Houston. I don't know why. I don't like Houston sports teams. I'm not a Rockets fan. Never have been. I'm not a Texans fan. I mean, I'm not too big into baseball. I mean, sometimes I'll give the Astros a pass. But
Right.
that's about it. I mean, going back to Dallas, Dallas looks like they're gonna make it past the first round. Luka is he's fucking phenomenal.
That kid's a god. Him, John Morant, and Trae Young, man. Those kids are incredible, man. I can say kids because I'm older than them.
Right?
they're fucking great, man.
Yeah,
They really are.
John Morant, another guy who's he was Rookie of the Year last year, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's just too damn good. Like he plays like he knows what he's doing. Like he doesn't look at the playoffs as like, oh, let me rephrase that. He looks at the playoffs as like, yeah, this is the playoffs. I gotta kick it up a notch. But at the same time, he knows
he's composed.
He's composed. He knows how good he is. He's fearless. And
Right.
the Grizzlies. This Grizzlies team ever since it moved to Memphis. Especially when they had Hubie Brown as the coach, and when Pau Gasol left, they're a pretty tough team. They've always been a very tough team because
they've always been in the mix.
Right. They refer to their stadium as the Grindhouse, and
Right.
Whether they're the 8th seed or the 7th seed or the 6th seed, you have to bring your A game against them. And
because it was tough. They was tough more so defensively than anything. With they had Tony Allen and Marcus Gasol and a couple of other guys, Zach Randolph, like that. Yeah, you was gonna be in for a fight, man. You was gonna have to knuckle up with them dudes.
Right. I still have flashbacks to 10 years ago when they beat my Spurs in the first round.
I remember that.
Right, when the Spurs were the number 1 seed and the Grizzlies were the 8th seed. So I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I remember that because I was dating this girl who was a Spurs fan. Her whole entire family was Spurs fans, and it was kind of awkward for like the whole 2 years that we dated because here I am, I'm this big gigantic Knicks fan, and they're all Spurs fans. I can't stand the Spurs because of what they did to my Knicks back in '99, and then what they did to the Nets like 2 years later, and I'm just like, God damn. That's actually when I did actually used to root for the Nets when Jason Kidd, was in charge of that team. And just what they did to them teams back to back, I was just like, God, I fucking hate the Spurs. So that was that was awkward. That was really, very awkward. But I remember all the girls in the family actually crying because the Grizzlies swept them.
Well,
it was the greatest thing ever.
Well, it was actually 6 games because I remember. Here's what I remember is because like the Spurs had the best record in the league, and the last game of the season, instead of resting their players against the fucking Suns, who were just out of the playoffs, Popovich decides to play his starters, and Manu ends up getting hurt, and he had to miss game 1. And
he was forced to do that because if you remember, Pop set the whole team out a couple of games before that. He got fined for that, so he couldn't do it again.
No, that happened 2 years later, dude. This was in 2011.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 years later. I remember that game exactly. No, this game, I remember them and the Bulls were tied for the best record in the league, and Pop, who usually doesn't give two shits about records, he decides to play his starters instead of resting his starters, and Manu ended up getting hurt. And I remember that game, like, vividly. Manu's hurt, and you see Popovich like, fuck. Like, he's like, God damn it, I probably should have just benched Manu, but yeah, Manu had to miss game 1, and they end up losing game 1, and they won game 2, and then the next 2 games in Memphis, they got their fucking ass whooped. And I remember there was a game where Jerry Lawler actually came out, I think either before or like during halftime, and he got the crowd like riled up and said, "Let's put the boots to the Spurs," and the whole crowd was just like pumped. There was no way you can silence that crowd. Yeah, it was just it was disheartening. 10 years ago to even still think about it. But Hey, 2 years later, I mean, well, not 2 years later, like 3 years later, they won another championship and they beat the fuck out of LeBron. So that's all.
He had cramps. He had cramps.
He had cramps in game one. And then they tried to say, "Oh, they turned off the AC on purpose." Like, no, just shit seems to happen. But yeah, I remember that vividly. Just I love thinking of the fact that Tim Duncan destroyed that team. Tim Duncan and Manu and Tony and Kawhi Leonard. For lack of a better term, helped destroy that team.
Good old times. Good old times. Back when I was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, it's just I mean, with the way the team is now, the Spurs is just. I mean, obviously, a good thing can't always last because I forget who said it, but they said as Spurs fans, we've always been spoiled because we always knew that the team was always going to be successful no matter what, as long as you had Manu, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker, and Popovich at the helm. Every year you were a guaranteed top 5, top 3 team. Now it's like you're lucky to make the playoffs.
Oof. And the Spurs, my God. It's almost sad now. It really is. From a guy on the outside looking in, waiting for these guys to have a downfall. I have to wait to my mid-20s for them to have a face flat moment. Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy thinking about it now, and I actually feel sorry for him now. I feel sorry for him. It's bad.
I mean, I wouldn't feel
y'all know what y'all got to do, right? I know what y'all got to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I already know what we got to do because we have to go back to what our bread and butter. Go back to drafting players. Pretty much growing homegrown talent.
No, y'all need the next 2 bigs. Need to get some bigs.
Well, I
need to get y'all need to get y'all next Tim Duncan, y'all next David Robinson there. I'm not saying that any player is going to be like him, but I'm just saying y'all need y'all next big. I think DeJounte Murray's fine, Lonnie Walker's fine, but y'all need some more pieces to fill in that gap.
Yes.
DeMar DeRozan ain't it, bro. He's not it.
Yeah, I hope to God they don't sign him. I hope to God they do not sign that.
I don't think the Spurs are they're too smart. I don't think they will.
Well, I mean, I don't even think he wants to stay either. So he's
he's a big time superstar, and he was really pissy about leaving Toronto or getting traded from Toronto.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually went back because they could show us fuck you need him right now.
Well, I mean, here's what I said, because there's 4 guys that are going to be free agents. You got DeMar, you got Patty Mills, and not Bertles, Pirtle, and Rudy Gay. What I pitched was, obviously
Rudy Gay, he's still in the league.
Yeah, he still plays for the Spurs. He still puts up pretty decent numbers for his age. But what I was saying was don't sign back DeMar, get rid of Pirtle because he ain't it. I would say
Jakob Pirtle was a pretty good 3-point shooter.
We need a big. We need a Tim Duncan. We need a David Robinson. So here's
somebody to dominate the paint.
Here's what I pose. So since this team is really young, this is the youngest team this team has ever been. Keep Rudy Gay and keep Patty Mills for seasoned veterans, and Patty actually won a championship. So here's what I'm proposing.
And he's a good player.
Tank the fucking season like you did in '97. Leading up to where you got Tim Duncan. Just tank the season. Get rid of your stars and just keep.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Drew. That tanking doesn't work anymore. As a Knicks fan, I could tell you we tried to. What the hell? Somebody shouting me out on Twitter. But that tanking stuff don't work anymore because remember they changed the rules of the draft. They do the whole ping pong shit now.
Okay, all right. Let me just rephrase what I said. So don't tank, but just go buy off the team you have now. Draft good players. Draft future stars like in the past. You had Manu in Argentina for 3 years. Draft draft your diamond in the roughs. Draft your future Tony Parkers until eventually the balls fall into your favor and you get the number 1 pick, you get the number 2 pick, you get the number 3 pick, and you have the opportunity to get your next David Robinson, your next Tim Duncan. That's what you need. This is what this team needs because I have faith that this team could be back to where they were in the next like maybe 5-6 years.
Yeah, I don't think it's nothing. I don't think a quick. You don't want to do a quick fix, but I think DeMar's got to go. Obviously, he's got to go.
Oh,
he does not fit the mold of that team whatsoever, and he can't shoot for shit. So, like, he really doesn't fit the mold. Pop is not a high flyer, guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a beat him down low. And 3-point shooting, he usually got 3-point shooting guns,
I was gonna say Pop is the Jim Cornette of coaches.
Your ass in check.
God damn, DeMar, stop doing these fucking high flying motherfucking flips. God damn, outlaw mud show players.
Out here doing this goddamn 450 dunk. What the fuck?
But yeah, DeMar's just. The last game I watched was that play-in game, and I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like I was the only one getting mad anytime DeMar did something. Like anytime he had the ball or was going to shoot or drive in, I'm like, oh fuck, DeMar, just pass the ball, just pass it to Patty, pass it to Rudy, somebody else other than you, because you suck. You're not clutch. You're not clutch. I mean, I don't want to say Kawhi is clutch because he's clearly not. But I mean, I'd rather have Kawhi over DeMar right now.
Oh, always, because Kawhi can do a bunch of different things when he's on. That DeMar can't do when he's on or off.
Right, but it's just. I mean, I'm watching these playoffs because it's one of those things where it's just like basketball over the years has kind of diminished because the only team I care about is the Spurs, and everyone else I'm just like meh. And it's become wrestling because they make it very clear who they want to win and be in the championship or whatever. Because last night that Phoenix LA game, LA was getting a shit ton of calls, and I remember there was one point, and I know you saw this, where Cameron Payne had his freaking arm locked up under LeBron's, arm, and he gets the foul called on him. It's like LeBron looks like he's literally twisting Cameron Payne's arm, and Cameron Payne gets a foul called on him. It's like, really? Even Reggie Miller was like, "Are you serious?" But yeah, they're making it very clear. Yeah, they're making it very clear.
You got to give the Princess what they want.
Oh yeah, they're making it very clear that they want the freaking Lakers and the Nets, and it's just like. The Nets pretty much bought their roster. They, Kevin Durant,
damn right they did.
Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin. Who else?
James Harden.
James Harden. They had LaMarcus, but LaMarcus had to retire because of his heart. So sucks for him. And just
he you know what? He wasn't going to make much of a big difference, anyways. I feel.
I mean, he could have made some difference,
but yeah, sorry that he had retired, but I don't think he just looked like he was beat down for so long.
Right. I mean, the guy was very injury prone in Portland. I don't want to say injury prone, but the guy was he got injured a lot in Portland. Came to San Antonio. He didn't really have too many injuries, but he was very underwhelming here in San Antonio. Very.
He did not. He did not like. He was not the answer. Oh my God, he was not the answer. Instead, all I used to compare LaMarcus Aldridge to is Eeyore from goddamn Winnie the Pooh because he looked depressed. Or long, drawn out faces. I'm like, good God Almighty.
It's
my man.
I just thought of his heart condition. So, because I remember the first time I heard about his heart condition, I was telling a friend of mine about it, and I'm going to rephrase the words for different reasons, but when I told him about his heart condition, he's like, I told you that dude didn't have no fucking heart.
Oh, God. He really went there.
Exactly. He went there. But, yeah, it's just... I mean, my only thing I care about is I do not want to see the Lakers win. I don't give a shit if the Nets... I don't give a shit if the Nets go to the finals. But I don't want to see LeBron James in the finals anymore. I don't.
I don't want to see the Nets in the finals either.
Like I want to
Kevin Durant.
I want to see a fresh matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I want to see something different, something exciting, something fresh. I don't think we're gonna get it, unfortunately, but I think that we can only hope for the best. Shoot your shot and hope for the best sometimes.
Right, but to switch topics. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. Good. I just had a really chill day today, man. Just got out of work, walked down to Piggly Wiggly after work, and just got some stuff. Cooked a little bit earlier, had me a little bit of lunch, and ironically, I was listening to Patrick Clark's shoot interview from a couple of years ago before he signed with WWE.
You mean the Velveteen Dream?
Well, it was before he was the Velveteen Dream, and it was just like damn, like only if we know then what we know now, God.
I'm assuming you read that entire, college, essay that he put on Instagram, right?
I'm not reading that bullshit.
Well, this is why you have me, RJ.
I know, right?
Right here. I actually screenshotted it. Let me just pull it up.
You trying to read that shit? Velveteen Dream. It's over, bro. Dream over. Hit it.
It's Velveteen Dream. DREAM. That's me. Here we go. So, let me just try to breeze through this. So, on Dream WWE on Instagram, on his story, he put, and quote, "The allegations from April 2020 or April the 20th, 2020 have effectively derailed any upward momentum I had professionally and has ultimately resulted in my termination with WWE. My name is Patrick Clark, not the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is a character that I have spent years developing and trying to bring to life. The success of the Dream character relied heavily on kayfabe, my ability to blur Patrick Clark from Tough Enough with his over-the-top personality. The character was the character was conceptualized the day Prince passed, April 21st, 2016. I knew nothing about him at the time, but my thinking was that I could use my interpretation of Prince to create an on-screen personality vastly different from who I am as a person. Cue Velveteen Dream, a sexually ambiguous, gender-fluid, self-absorbed diva. And as I learned more about Prince, I began to tame certain aspects of the character, aspects that I deemed way too over the top and inconsistent with who Prince was as a performer. Now, before I unpack, I will say I've enjoyed the many stories I've been able to share on camera, and I'm grateful to the many people who trusted me with their safety and wellness. Thank you to any and everybody who enjoyed and allowed me to be my character, whether you paid a ticket or walked up to me in Walmart. My goal was to provide you with the same escape that I was offered when I first started watching. My job was to play a character and to help advance storylines and drama for the fans who cared to tune in. I take any job I have seriously, which is why I've remained silent about these allegations. To me, addressing rumors would be working against an already compromised ability to sell a character I've invested in so heavily. After I had been accused, I was given the opportunity to be in a storyline that lasted a few months and worked in a few segments unrelated to the story arc, but now I feel comfortable in this position to share with you the details of my accusations. Thoughts before I get into the rest of the story, RJ?
Well, one thing I will say, looking back on watching that interview earlier, like the whole thing about him trying to be like all the stuff that you said that he said in that statement is some of the things that he was saying in the in that shoot interview that I watched earlier, where he was pretty much breaking down on how he became a wrestling fan and how he was like 8 years old when he saw Undertaker Tombstone Kurt Angle when he was in a wheelchair being a GM on SmackDown. I was like around 10 at that point. So I remember that very vividly as well. And like he wanted to play a character, like stuff like that. So what you saying, or his statement was very on par with what he said before he became the Velveteen Dream. And by the way, I don't see any difference between Patrick Clark the Man and Velveteen Dream. On like he's like that same voice. He has the same voice and cadence in real life.
Should I just do this in the Velveteen Dream voice?
Oh my god!
So the night of April 20th, from my verified Instagram account, I posted a story to my followers. I'm not gonna do that. Followers letting them know that my DMs had been open. I received a few different messages ranging from support. I'm sorry, what? His
mistake from the rip.
His mistake.
But go ahead, continue.
From support to heckling and some inquiring about how to get started in pro wrestling. I responded to a few, but not all, and of the few I responded to, one account accused me of solicitation. The account belonged to a 17-year-old aspiring wrestler, Jacob, before he deleted it. In the conversation, Jacob shared his interest in working as a pro wrestler one day and asked what steps would be required. I messaged a short list of things he should consider if he was serious. Physique and promo to start. Physique, because as an independent contractor, no one is going to make you train and eat in a way that creates the aesthetic of a believable pro wrestler. And promo, because our job is to sell drama. And you can't rely on someone flipping channels to stop to watch a choreographed fight. You're more likely to grab their attention looking into a camera with a strong and impassioned 30-second monologue. I also inquired about which schools he was closest to in relation to wrestling training, his height, and his weight and his height. Jacob explained how anxious he felt messaging me and asked me to verify that it was really me. I did find it strange because I have a blue check, but as a lifelong fan, I remember meet and greets and the days I would message wrestlers hoping to be seen. So I chalked it up to innocence and set a voice message in my Velveteen Dream voice as to keep kayfabe. The full voice message has me asking Jacob about his height, weight, and where he trained, what school he attended, what school do you go to, which Jacob answered back with a voice message, and I continued to answer his questions until I politely wrapped up the conversation. April 21st, I woke up to notifications and tags of created screenshots and videos of a conversation that I did not have with Jacob. I immediately contacted WWE's talent relations and social media departments as to begin an investigation. Even after the investigation, WWE released a statement maintaining my innocence. The part that hurt for me was having a personal picture that I have used in my personal life on apps being labeled as a predator. I am in no way of the word a predator. This is the first and only time I've been accused of solicitation to anyone. And we're almost done. Until I was accused of grooming Joshua Fuller. Unlike Jacob, I know Josh. I met Josh after my stint on Tough Enough in 2015 at a meet and greet, and we developed a friendship through a mutual trainer at GXW. Josh shared to my Twitter screenshots of the first time we communicated through text in 2016, an autographed picture from when we met, and an extremely contradictory story. Josh alleged that I made him feel uncomfortable, but contradicts himself twice by saying that I was never sexual toward him. For those willing to research Josh's tweets accusing me, Josh's messages are in blue and mine are in gray. Josh claimed that he was a 16-year-old high school graduate and that he takes quote-unquote yearly trips with his friend to Orlando, Florida. I doubted what he told me, yet I kept my replies diplomatic and professional. The reality of the situation is that I was very helpful and respectful to Josh. Josh lives with his grandparents in rural southern Maryland. Josh got a concussion in 2017 and, against my advice, insisted on wrestling. My worry came from Josh severely injuring himself, specifically his brain. I suggested he take time off from training to see a doctor. He declined because he believed he could work through the concussion, and I cut all communication with him in 2018 because I didn't want to be partially responsible had he worsened his injury. So to have him accuse me of predatory behavior because I chose not to help was spiteful. Josh and Jacob are two of many people that I have helped. Yes, these are the only two people who have found me to be malicious and predatory, and how I go about helping others. What wasn't shared at the time, Josh Fuller reached out to Jacob over social media before Josh put out his own accusation. When this came out, Josh Fuller temporarily deleted his Twitter account, and I'm not going to say what it is, which is important because in all the social media confusion, Josh Fuller is the only one who suggested that an investigation had not been done, that he had not been contacted. Jacob deleted his social media after he was outed for being a member of an anti-black group chat. There was a public forum, WWLP stars, I don't know what that means, where people are buying, selling, and sharing explicit photos and videos of multiple wrestlers, and no one has done anything to have this site shut down. All in all, this entire experience defamed my character and ultimately accomplished what it sought out to do, and that was see me released. My hope is that over time, people can put two and two together and realize that all the accusations surrounding me were baseless and untrue from jump. I felt strongly about not needing to defend myself on social media for a while now, but I understand the audience I work for and those who know me deserve clarity. I am thankful for the opportunities afforded to me and the memories I have as a receipt. God has always had me, and he always will. Dream is officially over, but Patrick Clark lives to fight another day.
Hit it!
Jesus Christ. Go ahead and take the floor, RJ. I know you have a lot to say about this.
Well, I got something to say, and it goes a little something like this. Oh God. Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Velveteen Dream messed up first and foremost by trying to be a little too nice to the fans. That was his fault first and foremost. Second of all, you don't entertain, like let's just say theoretically, if I was in the Velveteen Dream's shoes and I opened up my DMs to my fans, it would be strictly about wrestling, nothing more, nothing less. Where he messed up, entertaining them outside of wrestling. With the whole, what school do you go to, and this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? Like, entertaining them outside of that. All right? And there was a lot of stuff in there that was left in there to be taken out of context. You know, if it was out of context. And, that's nobody's fault but his own, you know? And, supposedly he had a bad attitude in backstage, which I believe. I've seen this guy in person, and just, you can tell he's a guy, and rightfully so. He believes in his own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was that young and had something good going on, I'd probably believe in my own shit too. But don't piss off the people you work with as well. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like Drake Wuertz, but we'll get into that later.
Oh God, he's that dude's just a fucking madman. That's all that was. But
right. Go ahead and finish, man.
But yeah, the Velveteen Dream didn't do himself no favors with the supposed backstage antics and behavior he had as well. So when all the chips fell down and the ships crashed too, like, nobody had no remorse for him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody felt sorry for the guy. And, at that point in time, all of these kids, especially there's a lot of kids that follow me through, the podcast and the EFED stuff, that are like around the same age as those boys, 15, 16 years old. Some maybe even a little younger. And, they're voicing their displeasure and stuff like that. And watching them, voice their displeasure, like, it's just like, damn, like, it's like, you want to console your little brother and your little sister, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like, because they feel bad that, this guy, potentially is a, predator. And when you see evidence and stuff like that, and you see what I saw, you know what I'm saying? This man's pee-pee all over the place. That one Friday, April afternoon, you know, you just shake your head and you go, damn kid, like, damn kids. I'm sorry. It's just very, very crazy, very, very strange. Guy pissed his own career away. But you know what though, Drew? I blame WWE too. When you give somebody, just like Paige, just like Leo Rush, just like a lot of other people, when you give somebody too much too soon, that shit goes to their heads. Tyler Bate, a lot of these guys that they deem so problematic. What's the common denominator? They're all young, except for Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is probably the only one that hasn't done anything
and Cross
stupid. Who?
And Cross.
Cross is not a young man.
Well, I mean,
Cross he's damn near 40. I'm talking about guys who started in the business young in WWE. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Cross
guys who've been in.
I mean, the point I'm more making from what you're saying was that, you know, giving guys too much too soon. You know, Cross.
Oh no! He's Kevin he's a disciplined. He's a grown ass man.
Oh no, I know that, but it's just like, yeah, I kind of get. I understand what you're going with, where it's just like young, like, you know, we're talking you know, like 30, like his, you know, Cross is 35, and that's young, but you know, you're talking about like young. So I get where you're coming from, but yeah, it's just like
look at the common denominator. Like Paige, when she had the NXT title when she was like 20.
Right.
She did all that saying, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And then we all found out about a few years later. Tyler Bate got into a little bit of trouble a few years back after he won the UK title. You know what I'm saying? Leo Rush mouthing off and, you know, pissing off people in the locker room. Velveteen Dream too. Common denominator all around, all in their early 20s, you know?
Here's a perfect example of somebody who was like that and was able to turn it around. Randy Orton.
Right. But Randy also had Vince, Triple H, and Ric Flair kind of protecting him, and a few others. He had a lot of people protecting him. Back when, you know, the whole culture of the locker room has changed. Like everybody's a player now. Everybody's on even kill. But back then, you know, there was hierarchy, and you know, guys were protected. You know. Whereas now, you know, a lot of guys aren't that protected anymore because everybody's on the same level pretty much.
Right. And, you know, going back to Dream, it's just like, it's kind of one of those things where you can't really blame one person. You know, you kind of have to point the finger at everybody else. You know, because you brought up an interesting point that not too many people have really brought up, is that they gave Dream way too much, way too fast. You know, this guy... You know, this guy was projected to be on the main roster and be a big time player. You know, would he have been like, you know, Brock Lesnar? No, probably not. But he would have been. He definitely would have been a big part of the card because Vince. You know, the one thing we've always said about Vince loves characters, and he would have loved Dream, and also helped that Dream could wrestle. And then, you know, supposedly John Cena wanted to work with him. So, you know, this guy had a career, and you know, he kind of fucked it up because, again,
he pissed it all away.
I don't want to sit here and say that he did it because I can't imagine. I guess you can't really be surprised at how people are, but it's just like I can't imagine a 20-something-year-old in shape guy who can literally get any bitch he wants wanting to, you know, text pictures of his dick to, you know, little kids.
Yeah, and if he is gay.
I mean, who cares if he is gay?
He can get any gay man that he wants to, or you know what I'm saying? Like it works both ways. He like, I don't think grown gay men don't like you know, other men that's in shape. Like he could have got any of those too. Like you're rich, you're in great shape. Come on, like that's another thing that frustrates you too. And you just like, dude, like you can get whoever you want.
Right, because
you know what I'm saying?
Because like, how many DMs, how many emails, how many tweets does Roman Reigns get a day of women and maybe even men? You know, we don't know. You know, saying, you know, I think you're gorgeous. I wanna have sex with you. I want you to be the father of my child. And how many of those tweets do you think Roman responds to? If you had to guess, Zero. You know why? Because Roman is a happily married man. He has kids, and he knows all all something has to, like, it's like the Joker said, all it takes is one bad day. All it takes is one bad day. All it takes is one tweet, one email, one stupid thing for me to say, and my career is over. So Roman's smart. Roman gets messages like these all day.
And plus, Roman doesn't have time for that shit, man.
Or I was just using an example. Someone else we can use as an example. Our boy Cross. We can use Cross as an example. How many emails or DMs or Instagram messages or whatever you think Cross gets from women and maybe even men saying, I think you're gorgeous, I want to do A, B, C, and D to you. And Cross's immediate, reaction is going to be like, no, not responding to that. You know why? Because A, I'm a young guy, I have my career ahead of me, and B, I'm dating the hottest woman on the planet right now. So why the fuck? Why do I need a cheeseburger when I got a steak at home? So it's just like,
yeah. And the thing with Cross too is Cross keeps all fan interaction short and sweet and simple, whether it's through a GIF or through a few words. You know what I'm saying? Like, he keeps all his he loves his fans and everything like that, but he keeps it short, sweet, and to the point. You know what I'm saying?
Cross is very fan friendly. Like that's one of the many things I like about him. He's very fan friendly. If you shoot him a picture of like, hey, I bought your shirt. He'll retweet it and respond back with a GIF. And I get, we don't have the luxury of someone like, our friend Kevin, who, is able to like have, these intimate, phone conversations with him. But, hey, someone like Cross, again, keep it short and sweet to the point. Because it could be the easiest thing in the world to respond to a troll, like Seth Rollins does, for example. Which, it's another story in itself, but Cross does the smart thing, which is, hey, I liked your match. GIF. Hey, I think you're great. GIF. Hey, I like you and Scarlett. I liked your match. I like blah, blah, blah. GIF. Or he'll just put like a simple emoji, thumbs up, metal sign, GIF. He does the smart thing. So, but, with a lot of these guys, like, like a Velveteen Dream or, Paige, people, especially like younger guys getting to the business that are given too much and too soon, I really think a lot of them need handlers as far as like social media goes. Like they need somebody to handle their social media. Like I'm pretty sure John Cena has somebody to handle social media, and Cena's kind of in some hot water. So that's probably a bad example. Maybe someone like Roman Reigns has a handler, like when he doesn't really feel like answering every single DM or voice. Or, voice, not a voice, but like a Twitter, comment, he'll have somebody to handle that for him. Or Brock Lesnar. Or I don't know, Triple H, for example. Like, for somebody that has a lot of time on their hands and has a lot of shit to do, you need somebody to take care of the shit that you don't feel like doing. And for somebody like a Dream who, again, I think his heart was in the right place for wanting to help people, because he said he wanted to help some of these kids out and help them get into the business and give them advice. And it's like that thing in what he posted, which is the kid was asking him, "Are you really Dream?" And he's like, "Well, I have a blue check mark, but what's the harm in just letting him know it's me?" It's just any little thing can be detrimental. Anything could always be used against you. And unfortunately for Dream, this guy had it made, and now we don't know what he's going to do next. Yeah,
I don't. AEW's not touching them. I don't think Ring of Honor is going to touch them either. I don't know. Impact maybe, the land of misfits.
I don't.
Impact usually gets like the last scraps anyway, so maybe Impact.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I personally don't think he's going to wrestling in general. I think he's done with wrestling because he put, the Dream is over, and now it's just Patrick Clark. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to be an actor.
Well, he's going to be Patrick Clark on the Indies.
I don't know, maybe, but I think he's kind of done with wrestling because we just kind of hit the nail on the head. Where is he going to go? Because
listening to that interview earlier, this man eats shit and breathes wrestling. He's staying in the business. I think he's going to take some time away to kind of try to wash away this bad image or whatever. And he'll be back. He'll be back. Obviously, WWE owns the Velveteen Dream name, so he won't be the Velveteen Dream, but he'll have some elements of that character still in there wherever he goes. Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. Maybe in a year or two.
Yeah, probably.
But I think he will. I don't think we ain't gonna be seeing him for the next like 6-7 months.
Yeah, I think the best course of action would be for him just to lay low. Just get out of the public eye, right. Just kind of let that memory simmer for a bit, because
go do something. Go do something.
I don't know, because if Drake Wuertz can get work, then maybe Velveteen Dream can get work. But Drake Wuertz,
Drake Younger, a guy I used to like a whole lot in CCW.
Right, and he's actually he's on a card, which what is it called? Fight for Trafficked Children or something like that. And his first work post being released from NXT. And if anyone's not too familiar, so last week, I don't know if was it last week or the week before, NXT made a bunch of cuts. They cut a few wrestlers, and they cut Drake Wuertz. And Drake Wuertz was, last time I read, he was considered the senior referee. So he was pretty much like the head chief of refs on NXT. He put out a video while he was still wearing his reffing uniform on what is it, like a community website, talking about just giving very like Trump, like pro-Trump, comments, talking about anti-vaxxing remarks and blah blah blah.
Anti-mask.
Right. Cornette played a video where I can't find the video to save my life, but he put up a video where Drake Wuertz is at like a town hall meeting for his kid's school, talking about masks and saying that kids shouldn't wear masks because apparently it makes them, I guess, susceptible to being kidnapped or something.
Kidnapped. Which, right? You know what? He kind of has a point there, but I mean, I could kind of see where he was going with that. That right. Can kind of, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I can kind of see where he was going with that. I will give him that. But no, the kids should still wear the mask to be safe.
Right.
But I do get where he was going with that.
Right, and as you can imagine, Cornette had fun with that. And then, there was news coming out that he was apparently making a lot of the talent and crew, feel uncomfortable. Like, he apparently was known to be kind of racist to people of color. A lot of the, I guess, the wrestlers that were people of color went up to Triple H and the higher ups and let him know that they felt uncomfortable, that he was trying to do A, B, C, and D to them, and that he actually lashed out against talent and crew that were getting vaccinations or just simple flu shots. The talent thought it was weird that he was the referee in closed door matches. There was a bit where Triple H, and this was during the whole George Floyd and Black Lives Matter movement. Triple H had made a speech to talent and crew, saying that people of all ages, color, and religions are welcome. And as soon as he got to the religions part of the speech, Wuertz was seen being very aggressively packing his stuff and leaving. And the day Triple H fired him, Wuertz stormed out of Triple H's office and was, very pissed off. So, I talked about this with Lippman on our show last week on Patreon, where we agreed on something where they made the right call solely based on if you're in any work environment and you're making. Oh, give me 1 second. I'll let my cat out.
Yeah.
Get out here. Get out here. Go. All right. So if you're in any work environment, whether it's a wrestling locker room, whether it's an office, whether just in general, and someone's making you feel uncomfortable, someone's making other workers feel uncomfortable, of course, you're going to go to the higher-ups, you're going to go to the supervisor and say, Bobby is kind of weird. He's kind of a creep, and he's making people feel uncomfortable. He's saying things that we don't necessarily agree with, and he's kind of making us feel inferior, and he's yelling at us because we don't agree with his opinions. So, if you're constantly getting all these complaints as a supervisor, I imagine Triple H, when he heard about this, he talked to Wuertz and goes, "Listen, Drake, you're making the guys feel uncomfortable. That's just fucking." But I imagine he told Drake, "Hey, dude, just chill. You got your beliefs. That's cool. Just keep it to yourself. Don't try to push it on people's faces." But Paul, I just think blah blah blah. A, B, C, and D. Okay, Drake, I get it. I have my own views. You have yours. Let's just keep it at that. I don't throw it in other people's faces. So, if it becomes a constant barrage of I have to keep reminding this guy to stop harassing your fellow employees, eventually I'm gonna have to do the moral thing and get rid of you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like an Enzo situation where they were just looking for any reason to fire him. No, they knew that they had to get rid of this guy. And luck would have it, that video that came out of him, just talking about anti-vaccine rules and A, B, C, and D. All the while, WWE is having these commercials of Bobby Lashley saying, "Hey, get your vaccination," or Braun Strowman, who I don't even know if he got his vaccination, but saying, "Get your vaccination." But
otherwise, Choo Choo Man gonna run you over, man.
I hate Roman Reigns. That means I hate you too.
That means I don't give a damn if you get the vaccine too.
If you don't get a vaccine, you're gonna get these hands. But, yeah, they made the right call firing him because
get his ass up out of here.
Yeah, they need to get him out there desperately, just solely based on those accusations. If they are true, which I imagine they are, just solely based on how that guy is. But what's your whole thought process about the whole Drake Wuertz?
Well, it's very disappointing as a fan of his wrestling work 10 years ago to find out this guy's such a radical racist man. I used to love ultra-violent Drake Younger back in CZW and PWG, but this fucking guy, he's a raging, racist, radical lunatic. So, I mean, hey, he's out here getting on people's nerves, not doing his job, skipping out on meetings to go to town hall meetings, skipping out on work just to catch the Trump Klan rally or whatever. He had to go. Can't be doing none of that stuff. None of that stuff should be tolerated, so he got to go. He had every right to bounce his ass up out of there. So, yeah.
Right. And, yeah, he apparently found work, so I guess that's good for him. They were expecting that shoot interview about how he was treated unfairly. So, more power to Mr. Drake. What else can we talk about? I think, you watched NXT last night, right?
Only caught the first hour and 20 minutes.
So you didn't see the main event with Cross and Finn?
Nope. By then I was already working.
Goddamn. Well, I won't spoil anything for you, but it's just it was.
I know who won and everything, but I didn't see the match in its whole entirety.
Well, you missed a good match. It was probably as good as their TakeOver match.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a little bit better, but it was a great match. That's all I'm gonna say. Overall, the show, in my opinion, it seemed like a one-match show. Because there's the whole thing with Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase, which I don't really care about, to be honest, because
right.
I think the whole Cameron Grimes thing has kind of run its course. And then they brought out what's his name?
LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Mr. Porn name. That dude. That's a porn star's name, man. LA Knight.
Okay.
What the hell?
My whole thing is if you're not going to call him Eli Drake, okay, but why can't you just call him Eli Knight?
Eli Knight, or Drake Knight, something.
Or why not just give him his name, Eli Drake? Like I don't know why the fuck they can't just give him his name. Like at least they
LA Knight.
At least they gave EC3 his name, and they didn't do shit with EC3. And now you have Eli Drake, who again, I don't think he's gonna light the world on fire and be like a big time player, but he could be at least something because the guy can talk. The guy looks like $1 million, and the guy can work. He's he's good in the ring. Just what the fuck? Call him Eli Drake. Like, well, I don't get why it's that fucking hard. But yeah, so I guess he's gonna be with Ted DiBiase. So whatever.
He doesn't need a talk or a manager though. So I don't get the reasoning for that. Neither one of those guys really need a manager. So I don't get why. I'm confused by this decision. LA Knight can talk just fine, man. I mean, he's got swagger. He's not lacking for anything. His in-ring work is not... I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, but he's not, like, blow-away spectacular. Like, he's not going to do anything that's going to be like... oh, holy shit, he did that? Like, he's not going to do anything like that, but he's a good wrestler, though. I know Joey Numbers always calls him Dane Cook.
Yeah, he does. Him and Mr. Kennedy do that Dane Cook way of speaking. That like they do that thing of just like I can't tell if you're doing a bit or if that's actually how you talk.
Oh god, Ken Kennedy is awful though.
Yeah, it's just
at least Eli Drake, LA Knight. At least he's got swagger to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I can believe.
Right,
I believe he's a douche in real life. I can believe that he's a prick in real life.
Yeah, swagger.
Ken Kennedy, on the other hand, it's just like even when he was a TNA, like just feel forced.
Yeah, I was never too big on him, even when he was in WWE. The whole microphone thing I thought was cute, but other than that, it's just like, yeah.
I missed his whole entire WWE run. That was when I was on my I got too big for wrestling run.
Right.
Middle school. So yeah, I missed all of Kennedy's run pretty much.
Yeah, you didn't miss
Thank
much.
God I did, because I didn't miss much, evidently.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. He always got, the guy just couldn't seem to not get hurt. Because
yeah, he's made out of glass.
I remember when they first brought him in on the main roster, he was getting over. And then I remember he had the match with Eddie Guerrero, which ended up being Eddie's last ever match. And then Kennedy after that was hurt. And then he comes back, and then he gets over, he gets a big push, and then they get Money in the Bank, and he ends up getting hurt. Which, he told kind of a fucked up story, which is like, the injury that he had, Stephanie McMahon apparently told him, you're going to be out for 7 months. So he had to relinquish the Money in the Bank. And he said, Dr. James Andrews, who's like, I guess like the main doctor for all the WWE guys, he literally just took one look at his shoulder and says, yeah, you don't need surgery. Like you're going to be fine in like maybe like a month. And then Ken was like, are you fucking serious? So, and then was it the whole thing during the whole Benoit thing where he was apparently going to be Mr. McMahon's son, his illegitimate son, but then the whole Benoit thing came out and he was on a list of wrestlers that were getting steroids from the doctor that was supplying Benoit with steroids. And then he went on some talk show, he made some comments about steroids, and that didn't help either. So that fucked up his push. And then he came back and got injured again, and then he had that match with Randy Orton where he dropped Orton on his head and he got hurt again. And it's just like, yeah, WWE was like, yeah, we're cutting this guy. So
good riddance.
Yeah, but with Eli Drake, I didn't watch his TNA run. I mean, I saw snippets, and I was just
good.
Like, yeah, this guy looks okay. It's a good look, but it's TNA, so who gives two shits? But I liked his NWA stuff. I mean, obviously, I like his NXT stuff, but it's just like, for the love of Christ, can you just call him Eli Drake? Like
Eli Drake.
Let me talk to you.
Whose game is it? Whose game is it? LA Knight. LA Knight. Yeah.
So
let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you, dummy. It's
dummy.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how they're pushing him because they bring him in and he wins one match, and then he ends up losing 2 straight matches to Bronson Reed, which I'm just
I know, right? Dumb.
Which I'm just like, you guys haven't been using Bronson Reed on television in like months.
That's because Bronson Reed keeps on getting hurt.
Yeah. Well, he's Samoan, so
you think him moving that big ass around ain't gonna put no wear and tear on his body like that? Come on. Bronson Reed's getting hurt.
I mean, that's another thing. A lot of these big guys, realize, they're
get hurt.
They're not spring chickens. They need to start working more like big guys. Keith Lee is another story. Which, okay, so
Good Lord.
The whole thing with Keith Lee, I don't have the tweets in front of me, but again, he's another like fan friendly wrestler. People will tweet him like, "Hey, where are you?" He's like, I can't really say much right now, but I'll let you guys know when it happens. I can't really tell you right now. So, and then
where is he in fucking prison?
Yeah. Yes.
What the hell? I can't really tell you where I'm at right now, but like, where are you? Are you in prison?
He got arrested. Shit. He got arrested for tearing that ass up with Mae Young. That's exactly what he did. But
that's one crime I do not blame him for whatsoever. That's probably a crime I would commit to if I was in that same position.
I was gonna say Mae replied to a tweet saying it's none of y'all's business. So,
ain't none of your friends' business. Ain't none of your friends' business.
And
there you go.
It's one of those things where it's just like Joey Numbers usually has sources. I think he even says like, I really don't know what the hell is going on. And there's not.
Me neither. Like I took it to ask what's going on with Keith Lee too, from people that I know down in that Florida loop, and nobody knows nada. Like my man, like big man from Hit Row, nada. Nobody knows nothing. So I'm like, damn.
I mean, obviously we hope he's okay because we like Keith Lee,
right? And
we want to see him back. We want to see him back into the fold, and
I swear to God, I hope Vince ain't got him on no weird big man lose weight camp. Remember all the rumors that Vince McMahon was having big man classes with him and Otis and what's his name, Commander Aziz, and what's the other big guy? There's about a couple other big guys they had.
Yeah.
They all had him in big man classes.
Yeah, and Nia Jax continues to look like a fucking fat slob. But that's nobody's ready for that conversation. But
we all know the reason behind that.
Yeah, because of Cousin Rock.
If you smell,
Cousin Dwayne. Which okay, here's the thing about that. Do you honestly buy that?
I do, but I think it's more so of a thing where they're afraid of pissing him off more than him forcing the hammer down on them about the situation.
Right, because like again, I obviously don't know Dwayne Johnson, but it's just like based on.
But The Rock is a guy that preaches about true grit, and if you want it, you go get it, you earn it. Like he's from that type of mold, so I don't envision him calling Vince McMahon and be like, "You better treat Nia Jax right, otherwise, you know what's gonna happen. I'm never coming back to WWE." Yeah, I don't see them dangling him dangling that ultimatum in front of their faces like that, but I can see them just being like, okay, we're not gonna really reprimand her in fear of pissing him off, so that whenever Vince gets to call him to show up to a SmackDown in next month or something like that, The Rock has no problems with saying yes.
Right, because like I can't imagine Nia Jax calling Dwayne, be like, Dwayne, they reprimanded me because I hurt somebody. I can't imagine Dwayne's response. Then maybe you shouldn't be fucking hurting anybody in the ring.
Yeah. Right.
Like I can imagine
be a little careful.
I can imagine Dwayne being the big brother in the whole family. Like we were talking about Roman being the head of the table. Rock Dwayne is the head of the table. Dwayne fucking built the table. He owns the table.
Right.
But yeah, it's just you're right about that. It's more of a thing of like I can't see The Rock getting mad and be like, well, you yelled at Nia, so I'm not coming back to SmackDown. Like I can't imagine.
No. But I'm cooking.
It's like, but Dwayne, it doesn't matter what you had to do. No, I'm fine. But yeah, it's one of those things where like they assume he's going to get pissed off instead of actually.
You take your thoughts, put it on a platter, and stick it straight up your candy ass.
Yes, man. With a rock. us.
Okay.
Boom, down, 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 down. Anyway.
The Rock says,
The Rock says,
"Know your damn role."
And shut your mouth.
Rudy Poo, candy ass.
Oh man. But
I don't know. Oh. I don't know. Oh. Like Lex Luger said.
wait, what did Lex Luger say?
Oh. I don't know.
When did he say that?
On that famous clip when somebody was asking him about a pay-per-view. He looked at the camera and goes, "I don't know."
I thought you were talking about the 911 voice thing with Elizabeth. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh no!
I don't know what I'm doing. Bring someone here who can, please.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I shouldn't be making fun of that. That's me.
Yeah, come on, Drew. And people say I'm the bad guy around here.
I'm a heel. I'm a heel by heart. I know. Fuck everybody. I don't know what that was, but I don't even know how we got to this topic. We were talking about NXT. Have you all right, so let's just kind of switch gears. Have you been watching like the A&E Dark Side of the Ring things?
Nah, those things just depress me about wrestling, man. I just avoid them. And plus, I'm not home on Sundays when they air, so like I don't catch them.
Well,
And even if I were, it's just like I don't want to see that. That a lot of that shit's depressing, man. Like those things are good, but like it just I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's depressing.
Like the ones I watched before just left me just sad. Like the Benoit and Guerrero, I was just like, yeah, I can't watch no more of this, bro.
Well, a lot of the dark side ones, they're depressing, but they always have more of a uplifting ending because at the end of the day, it's not just about the person; it's about the people that are around them. Because the Benoit thing ended with his son and his sister-in-law being reunited. So now there's there's that. What's the word I'm looking for? There's that peace of mind. With the new season, the season premiere was about Brian Pillman and it ends with Brian Pillman Jr. and his two sisters and his aunt, who his aunt's the MVP. It's like Kevin Durant said, you're the real MVP. She's a saint. She's been trying to keep them together and making sure that they have a relationship. And Brian Pillman Jr. is the biggest. Brian Pillman Jr. should be the biggest fucking babyface in wrestling right now. Like he is, but AEW for whatever reason does AEW things and just doesn't want to capitalize on the success. So that's something I don't really want to get into. It's just going to piss me off. But
Brian Pillman Jr. also, I mean, he's fine, but he's not there yet. He's still got a lot of kinks to work out. You know what I'm saying? So he's not ready to be pushed to the moon yet.
Right, but
and in that instance, that's fine. That's cool. Like I don't mind that.
Right, but yeah, this guy should get a push. Like, get him out of this silly tag team and just do something with him. But
you don't like the Varsity Blondes?
I don't care about it. I really don't. I mean, Griff Garrison.
You don't like Jungle Boy's big brother there, Griff?
Griff Garrison. I do not. I mean, I think he's okay, but it's just like, I don't know, just do something with Brian. Even before the Dark Side thing, I saw Brian, and I'm like, that guy has a look. He can work. Just give him some time. Get this guy over. Especially after the Dark Side thing. Get this guy the fuck over. But that's just a matter of opinion. And like the rest of the series, they had a Nick Gage, one, and I surprisingly ended up liking that more than I thought I would. Because I'm not a fan of CZW deathmatch stuff. I'm just really not. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I know other people are. I know Shaheen, spoke highly of Nick Gage, so I just decided to give it a watch solely based on that. And it's a very good documentary. There's a funny bit in it that it's not really too much of a spoiler because it's common knowledge it happened, but Nick Gage robbed a bank, and the cameras caught him because they can see his face, and Nick Gage's whole gimmick is that he wears a handkerchief over his face, almost like he's going to rob a bank. And John Moxley was on a documentary because John Moxley and Nick Gage are like boys. And John Moxley was going, of all the times not to wear his handkerchief, he doesn't wear a handkerchief when he's actually robbing a bank. So that was funny. And the documentary ends with, redemption because, Nick Gage was able to kind of turn his life around and stop doing stupid shit. I mean, in a matter of speaking, like he doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't rob people, but he still does, deathmatch stuff and, he's keeping his nose clean. So he's, the story
still doing the outlaw mud show shit.
The outlaw mud show goose. Fuck him. Let him eat fish heads.
Come on, cutting his fucking lip, running his dick liquor.
Back in my day, I would have taken a baseball bat to these motherfuckers.
This indie garbage wrestling bullshit.
But
fuck.
Now Gage is kind of.
He's got to capitalize on the success of the show because, he was on Chris Van Fleet's show, which was random because when you think Chris Van Fleet, he'll usually interview like legends and current people in business, and he has Nick Gage on, which I'm just like, okay, that's random, but cool.
Yeah.
And then John Moxley appeared at one of their shows, I guess, reigniting their feud. So
yeah, they attacked each other like a couple of times.
Right, and he might even get an AEW payday. So who knows?
He could. Between him and Callahan, somebody's got to fill that third spot, or I would bring Callahan and him both in with Moxley and Kingston. That have those guys fight Kenny and the Bucks and the Bald brothers there.
So just because you seem like you know a little bit more about deathmatch stuff than me. So like, are you a Nick Gage fan?
No, he wasn't one of my favorites. I was a big fan of Zandig and Blackout, Black G's and Ruckus, Human Tornado whenever he went over there. Kevin Steen when he did some stuff over there. Hell, even El Generico did some stuff over there. Adam Cole even had a run over there in CZW. So it wasn't too much about the Ultraviolence all the time because fucking Drew Gulak had a world title run over there too. He's Mr. Technical Wrestling. But my Nick Gage wasn't really one of my favorites.
One thing
big time Mox fan for the longest. The Eddie Kingston whenever he was over there too. Like it's he had a lot of different flavors, but Nick Gage for me just never really hit.
One thing that kind of surprised me, just especially after the Nick Gage thing came out, was like a lot of current top guys, especially like in WWE, had wrestled Nick Gage. They showed Cross actually had a match with him at Bloodsport. Yeah. Nick Gage actually told a story about wrestling Matt Riddle, that he actually has respect for Matt Riddle because Matt Riddle actually walked across broken glass and like got Nick Gage's face, like, hey, come on, let's go. And he said after that he had a lot of respect for Riddle, and then a bunch of other guys too, like I know Shaheen mentioned like guys like Keith Lee was at GCW. He definitely said Cross there too, so it's crazy to think about. But other episode they did an episode on was it Collision in Korea, which was the big South Korea event for WCW, and
too cool. Scorpio got to fight with Warrior Hawk.
Yeah, he's talking about I punched Hawk right in the face. I got him right.
Pussy ass motherfucker, let him ride on his own.
But yeah, it wasn't really that interesting because when you're thinking of Dark Side of the Ring, you're thinking like, oh shit, somebody got kidnapped. Somebody's foot was sent back to their wife or something. It's like, nah, it's just like the only thing that really happened was that Scott Norton apparently had his phone bugged and he was threatened by Korean government, and that's really about it. There really wasn't anything interesting.
Scott Norton, that's a weird dude to pick out of the bunch to try to threaten and intimidate, huh?
Yeah, and then Eric Bischoff tells a story about how he was going to go for a morning run, but he didn't tell his handler. So he's like, what's the worst that could happen? Then he goes on a run. There's all these random Korean people that see him, and they're just they look scared when they saw him, according to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got back to his hotel, his handler was livid and said, "Don't ever do that again." And blah blah. Other than that, it really wasn't that interesting or eye opening. I know the next episode tomorrow is going to be about Warrior, in the same week where they had a Ultimate Warrior thing on A&E, which I'm a little conflicted on because, okay, I'm not going to say conflicted as in I'm a Warrior fan, but like, okay, so here's how I see it. The A&E docs, you can say what you want about them. You can say, they're fluff pieces, whatever. I mean, they are and they aren't, but the A&E doc at least had his wife and his kids. His wife that he was married to for almost 20 years, and it was a much different partner's life. They did cover, the controversies where he was. They actually did show the video of him saying, we need to stop queering up the world, or queering the world doesn't work, and yeah, his wife is, Dana covered that. The documentary wasn't really a fluff piece because they did acknowledge that Warrior was difficult to work with, that he did A, B, C, and D, and Vince said, we had a good relationship, but over the years it kind of faltered until he came back to the Hall of Fame. Other guys, of course, Hogan has to be on it because it's Hogan, so you can't really buy into anything he's saying. It shows, brother, me and Warrior, brother. We fought in the day, but it showed Warrior's mom, which is crazy because she's the only remaining relative from his family. Because
it's crazy.
When Warrior
God bless the lady.
Yeah, because Warrior's dad was out of the picture by the time he was like 8 or 9, and then it was just him and his 3 brothers. And according to his mom, she's the only one left. Wow. So, and then it showed his high school coach, his childhood friend. So yeah, it showed a lot more about Warrior than we really knew about him in the past. And Sting was on it for a bit, but he was only on it until after Warrior left. What is it? Memphis, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really about it. I mean, they had footage that they had from that WWE doc that they had, leading up to Warrior going to the Hall of Fame, and that's really about it. Shane McMahon was a part of it, and Shane McMahon had talked about how Warrior had a really good relationship with Vince. It was like Warrior looked at Vince as a father figure because he didn't have a dad in his life, so he saw Vince as a father figure. Vince kind of had a weird answer to it where he's like, I didn't really think of Warrior as a son because I already had a son, but it's. Right. I'm just kind of paraphrasing. Vince had said, it feels good that a lot of these guys can see me as like a father figure. I mean, I don't want them to think I'm their dad, but like if they can have that kind of relationship and respect, it's cool. Pretty much that's what Vince said. So, and yeah, that's about it. They showed his daughters, which. I mean, they've really grown up. I'll just say that. Oof. I mean, if you're gonna watch the documentary for any reason, just watch it for his daughters. They look good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Aren't they like freaking 17 and 16 years old?
No. They're already in college, my friend.
What? They were like little girls back in 2014. What the hell?
Dude, that was 7 years ago. They're already like heading to college.
What the fuck? Oh, God.
Especially the oldest one, who's like, what is it, Madeline Warrior? Which I'm just like, God damn. Like, she... I know I'm supposed to get emotional during this, but I'm like, every time I see Madeline, I'm like, God damn, you're kind of making it worse by looking the way you do. Like, God damn. Oh, man.
You're incredible.
Simply ravishing. But...
Simply ravishing, so nobody's fool. All the girls go crazy and they know what to do.
He'll break your heart, he'll steal your girl, break your heart.
And leave you a fool. Simply ravishing, rude.
I had that song stuck in my
head. It's a good song, man.
It's a banger. But yeah, the documentary I thought was pretty good. Of course, there's going to be people that said it was, too much of a fluff and, whatever. The dark side thing I'm not crazy about because you have his ex-wife before he met Dana, and they weren't really together that long. So of course she's going to have like her own memory of Warrior. And then you have Jim Cornette on, which doesn't really make any sense because he said before he only worked with Warrior once. So he pretty much admitted that he's only on it just to talk shit about Warrior. And then Jim Ross is on it, and Jim Ross barely worked with Warrior. I mean, the only two people on the show that really have a connection to Warrior are the ex-wife and Jake Roberts. And Jake Roberts had said that he actually, mended fences with Warrior on, the day of the Hall of Fame. So, I don't know, it's basically going to be a hit piece. Just with people that barely knew Ultimate Warrior and just going to be on saying, well, I worked with Warrior one time and he was a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit human being. And it's just like, well, did you really know him? No, but he was a piece of shit human being. And he's just... again, it's not really a thing of me being a Warrior fan. It's just like kind of looking at things and going, so you're just on here just to talk shit. Pretty much. So,
right.
I don't know, Cornette put up a thing saying, this one's going to tell the truth. And I ended up replying to him saying, from one person's perspective that was with him for like one fraction of his life. And then you have a bunch of people that barely even knew him or even worked with him. So, I don't know. I'm not really going to watch it because I have a feeling it's just going to piss me off. And I already know Kevin Castle's going to go ham on that show. He's going to go ham on that episode because Kev is a huge Ultimate Warrior fan. So, yeah, that's really about it. I mean, as far as the A&E docs, I'm not going to review them. I'm just going to go through them and just briefly talk about them. The Stone Cold one didn't really tell me anything I didn't know. I mean, they kind of briefly talked about his relationship with his kids and how he wasn't really the perfect dad, and now he's trying to have a better relationship with his kids. So, that's good. The Shawn Michaels one, it didn't really tell me anything I didn't know, which in this one he was a lot more open about his drug use. Like he kind of admitted that Marty Jannetty was the reason why he started doing drugs, because before that he wasn't doing drugs or really even had sex with women, and Marty just pretty much said, I kind of got Shawn into that. So when you look at it, it's Marty Jannetty's fault that Shawn was a prick. So,
God damn it, Marty! None of his career was never the same, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then he killed a man. Apparently, he killed a man. RJ,
he killed a man and had sex with his own daughter.
Jesus Christ!
Remember that? I had sex with my own daughter. I said, "What?"
Oh man!
I said Marty Jannetty just, oh god,
I mean, there was maybe one part in this documentary that, okay, I mean, you know me well enough to know my religious beliefs. I'm an atheist, kind of leaning towards agnostic, and I mean, whatever your beliefs are, your beliefs, and I'm under the thought process of like, if you can do something that can help you be better as a person and be less of a shithead, I'm all right with that. And, Shawn turned to religion and made him a better person. There was one part in the documentary where he had, the reason why, everyone knows the reason why Shawn had to leave wrestling to begin with is because he had a bad back. There's this thing at the Rumble in 98 where he fell in the casket where it literally looked like he didn't even touch the casket.
Mm-hmm.
According to Shawn, he woke up the next day and couldn't move. And, he had to leave wrestling, and he ended up getting the back surgery. And he was out for, pretty much 3 or 4 years. And there's a bit in it where his wife, is saying, right after he turned to religion, that's when his back miraculously healed. And I just kind of went, are you sure about that? Because I know Cornette touched base on it where it was like, that when Shawn left, he was still getting paid by the WWE for 3 years. But then, after his contract expired, that's when Shawn came back with, hey, I'm going to wrestle again. So, I don't know. It's just kind of those things when I heard it, I just went, Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sexy boy.
God is a miracle. But yeah, the documentaries are pretty good. This Sunday is Mick Foley, so I mean that should be that really shouldn't have too many scandals in it. And then Dark Side of the Ring.
Wait a minute, hold on. Are they going to talk about his obsession with Noel Easton?
Noel Foley?
No, Noel Easton. His obsession with her.
Oh, the porn star?
Yeah, who he named Noel after.
Are you? No, isn't Noel Easton like in her 20s?
No, I'm pretty sure that woman's like in her 30s.
Well, no, because I was saying is like, I don't even think Noel got the name from Noel Easton because Noel Easton's kind of relatively young.
Yeah. I could have sworn I read an article where Mick Foley got that name from Noel Easton.
No, hold on, let me look this up. Noel
Apparently, Mick Foley has a
27 years old.
I ain't talking about looking at her pictures either.
Noel Foley's 27. So let's go to Noel Easton age.
Same age as me.
She's 26, dude. Noel Foley's a year older than her. So.
Oh. Apparently, Mick Foley has some obsession with her.
Yeah, I mean, because he's. I know there was a thing he was telling where, like, he had. I forget which porn star it was that he was following on Twitter, and his kid found out about it, and his kid felt uncomfortable, so he decided to unfollow her, and he made like a big schmoz about it on Twitter. So I'm just like, okay, like how do you have to feel the need to tell us that? Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Noel Easton is thick, bro. God damn. Woo-hoo. All right, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. Woo!
What were we gonna say?
I said Mick Foley. Woo!
But I mean, I guess whenever you have time, just watch the docs if you can. The Dark Side of the Ring ones you can actually see on YouTube the very next day.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that to look forward to. But what else can we talk about? They announced today that this was already announced a while back, that they're doing another one of the Spider-Verse, Sony movies. They're doing a Kraven the Hunter movie. And I believe the last time I checked, it was going to be the director of The Equalizer, Antoine Fuqua.
That should be some nice action then.
And today they found their Kraven.
Wait a minute, huh? That must have been when I took a nap earlier.
Oh yeah,
Who they get?
I took a nap too, and I woke up and I saw that, and I did not see it coming. So, do you want to know who? Do you want to know who they cast as Kraven the Hunter?
Who's Kraven the Hunter?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Get the fuck out of here! What?
Pietro.
He's too dolled up to be goddamn Kraven the Hunter, man.
Yeah, like I said, I did not see that coming.
Didn't see that coming.
They put out. There was apparently a list of 4 actors that they offered the role until they gave it to Aaron Taylor Johnson. The 4 actors on the list were Brad Pitt.
Right. No.
Keanu Reeves.
All right, I can kind of see it.
John David Washington.
I have no. Oh, that's Denzel's son, right?
Yep.
All right, yeah.
And
that's fucking weird.
And Adam Driver.
I'm not familiar with Adam Driver's work.
Kylo Ren.
Denzel's son. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Right.
Denzel's son. That's just kind of weird to me. Brad Pitt. No way. And Keanu Reeves is probably would have been the best guy to go with it because he has that look, anyways.
I mean, who probably has the most ideal look is between 2 people. One is Jason Momoa, but he's in DC, so that wouldn't happen. And Joe Magla, whatever the fuck his name is, guy who's playing
Manganiello.
Yeah, he would have been a perfect not Deadshot, but he would have been a perfect Kraven. But
Damn right.
And also,
He has that Sergei Kravinoff look. No?
and also Carl Urban. Carl Urban would have been a perfect Craven.
Isn't Carl Urban pretty short?
Yeah, you can work around that. But
They need somebody opposing, and I think Joe Manganiello and Jason Momoa do fit that mold for it. And like I said, facially and with the hair, they already have it, so there's not much they really need to add to it to make it look complete. Keanu Reeves would have also had that look too, but I don't know, like Kraven the Hunter, like I said, when you think about Kraven, like he's this big imposing figure as well. So Keanu Reeves probably would have had to need to put some muscle on. Unless they want to, like, you know how the MCU or, they like to take a different twist and take on some of the characters, unless they wanted to make Kraven more brains than brawn. If they would have went down that approach, I mean, that would have been fine to pick Keanu Reeves for that too, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell in this instance that they obviously want to go with somebody who's going to be there for the long haul. And,
right.
Aaron Taylor Johnson and me are the same age. We were both born in '89. So you can imagine how self-conscious I get when I see him. But
Drew, I thought you was like 50 years old, dude. Aaron Taylor Johnson is like in his early 30s.
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson's just that's a random choice because like
it is random. Very.
I just remember talking like, why haven't they brought this guy back to be Pietro in any way?
Yeah, I know, right?
But now it's just like he's back in Marvel, but not as Pietro. He's going to be Kraven the Hunter, which I'm just like, I don't.
I thought besides that generic looking costume they gave him, I thought he actually looked like Quicksilver.
Right.
I thought he was the perfect Quicksilver, but evidently not. We all know what happened. You didn't see that coming, Pietro, did you?
You do not see that coming. I guess speaking of more Marvel news, did you see the trailer for the Eternals?
I'm not gonna lie to you and sit here and pretend like I'm an Eternals fan. So I did not see the trailer, but I did seen the video on my timeline, but I didn't watch it. If that makes sense. Like I saw it in passing, but I didn't watch it.
So
it looks good.
All right, so I'll just kind of put it like this. So the director of the movie, she just won 2 Oscars, and it was for that movie Nomadland, where she won Best Director and Best Picture. So I haven't seen the movie, but when you watch the beginning of the trailer, not even the beginning of the trailer, the whole movie, it doesn't even seem like a Marvel movie. It seems like something completely different, and hey, different's always good. I'm always down for different.
Right. Because you don't want all movies to be paced the same.
Right. And supposedly that was kind of like her MO. Like Kevin Feige had said, she had talked about wanting to film on different locations to maybe use different camera angles. And, she was actually aiming to do a Marvel movie because she likes Marvel. So, and now she has an Oscar, so it's crazy to think about that. But it looks...
got credentials.
Yeah, visually it looks beautiful. It looks like a beautiful movie. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know anything about the Eternals. I really don't.
Me neither.
I've heard of them. I mean, they're supposed to be the most powerful beings in the world.
Right.
There's a
that I do know, but like as far as into the characters and everything like that, no. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am either.
Right. In the trailer, there's a line saying where one of the characters was saying, for years we've stood by and watched everything and we didn't do anything, but now we have to. So. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is like, apparently they've seen everything. They've seen the first Avengers. They've seen Infinity War and Endgame, and they didn't lift a finger. So it's going to be a thing of like, they were told to not do anything and not interfere in, mortal problems. So now something has, gotten them out of hiding, so to speak.
Right.
So it's a pretty interesting cast for a movie about a comic book that not a lot of people know anything about.
Angelina Jolie being the main suspect.
Who her character is apparently Thanos' cousin.
Yep.
Yeah, we might get a Thanos appearance in this. Because I know Josh Brolin had said a while back that he has a few more appearances in his Marvel contract. So, we have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
You have Richard Madden, who is was it Rob Stark in Game of Thrones. He's the main guy. Selma Hayek, who just never seems to age. Love that woman. Brian. I know, right? It's like, hello, my name is Selma. That's
Drew, I hope your woman is not in the room.
Oh no, she's not.
Okay, good. Otherwise, you might be punished.
Yeah, I don't care. Hey, whatever. But yeah, Brian Tyree Henry's in the movie. A guy who seems to be getting work like everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You have Kit Harington, who is Jon Snow. He's going to be the Black Knight, so that should be interesting.
Black Knight.
Kumail Nanjiani, or Nanjiani, that's how you say his name. Who?
I'm not sure who the hell that is.
Again, he's a guy. If you saw his face, you probably know who he is. But yeah, he's mainly known as a comedy guy. But in this movie, he got like insanely buff and jacked to play this role. Which, I mean, you should for a superhero movie, but he got it's like, damn, dude, I didn't even know you can get that jacked. I'm trying to figure out who else is in the movie. Yeah, I mean, the trailer was very brief because it's a teaser trailer, so Marvel doesn't really like to give out too much. So I know I think the villains are supposed to be the Celestials, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea who the hell those are either.
Neither do I. The Celestials were the ones who created the Infinity Stones the last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken. So, but
that should be interesting.
Yeah, with I don't know. In Marvel, I trust. I mean, me and Jeff let me just say that. In Marvel, I trust.
Right, definitely.
Like, because I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy. I knew nothing about that shit. And then I watched.
I knew a little.
Yeah, I mean, I just knew the comics were not that good. Because I remember one time a coworker told me about it. It's like, yeah, they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I'm like, who? Like, am I supposed to know who that is? And I just remember reading one comic and going, I guess. And, Guardians became one of the biggest movies of... I don't want to say the biggest movies of all time, but it became a huge success for Marvel. Unexpected success.
It exceeded all expectations.
It made Chris Pratt's career. It made Dave Bautista's career. It made us care about a talking raccoon and a talking tree that just says, I am Groot. Easy payday for Vin Diesel.
Well, like you...
Wait, what?
That's like you wouldn't believe.
All right, exactly. And then
man won't.
What happened?
It's people bothering me about stupid stuff. You go ahead and continue.
And then get other movies coming out like Shang-Chi. I don't know if you saw the trailer for that.
Oh yeah, I did. That's gonna be good with the real Mandarin.
Right, that looks interesting because again, I don't know anything about that because I think it's a little bit too old. I mean, because it came out a while ago and then they kind of revamped it. It's going to be Marvel's foray into Kung Fu. And the guy that's playing the role, I looked up his IMDb. This is his first starring role in any movie.
Yeah, he's good. And you know what? Not heavy pressure because, hey, Shang-Chi is not that big of a, Marvel character to where if he bombs, he's not going to have too much of a blowback, so to speak. But if he does good and the movie's good, like it's going to be all uphill for him, Like I said, if it's bad, it's. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world for the guy.
Right, and also with like the lesser known characters, it gives you a lot more room for creative freedom. So I think it's gonna be good. Right, and it looks good because
I think it does look good. It does look good, and that's what I'm saying. I think it'll be good. I think I'll pay a ticket to go see that. The Eternals, not so much, but Shang-Chi, yeah. I'll pay a ticket to see that.
So, and then like to close out the rest of the year, of course, Spider-Man 3, which is coming out in, I believe, the week before Christmas, and
give it to me.
We're supposed supposed to be getting a trailer pretty soon. Might even get a trailer next month. So we'll never know. And they're making sure they're keeping that movie wrapped the fuck up. Like they're making sure there's no leaks. They barely have any like behind the scenes footage, which they usually do for most Marvel movies, but for this one they don't. They're making sure like nothing gets leaked. Like not even like a percentage of something gets leaked, because in this movie apparently everybody's coming back. You know, there was that point where like every week it's like so and so is coming back. What is it? Alfred Molina is coming back, which that got confirmed. He's coming back.
He let the cat out of the bag.
Right. Did you see that interview with Andrew Garfield when they were asking him about it?
Andrew Garfield looked like he just smokes a pound of weed every night. You know what I'm saying? So
you didn't see the interview, right? I'm talking.
No,
about.
I didn't.
So they asked him about it. Someone was interviewing him, asking him like Spider-Man questions, and he goes on this almost 5-minute long explanation about why he's not in it, and then he starts using bad examples of games. Like he uses an example of a game, and then he ends up quoting the wrong game and ends up saying another game, and starts stuttering, and he's not even looking into the camera, and he's laughing, and it's like, you might as well have just put on a shirt that says "No Way Home." Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like instead of just saying, "No, I didn't get a phone call." Like I would love to be in it, but sadly, no one called me. He just goes, "No, you know what? No, I'm not in it. No, people need to chill. They need to chill out, dude. Like, come on. These people are silly. You know why they're silly? Because..." And it's just like, oh my god, dude, you are lying. You are lying. You are lying, my friend.
You're bad at it.
Like, you're not only lying, like you just said, you're bad at it. And then Toby apparently is coming back, but he hasn't really been interviewed or said anything. So,
Tobey Maguire's been out of the limelight for a long time.
Yeah, he mainly just does a lot of indie stuff. So, and I don't know, it's just like every week is like someone's coming back. They even said Jeff Lippman's going to be in it, if you can believe that.
Hey, Jeff, let's get in the spot.
So Jeff's doing like 8 million things at once. Like
hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make that money, man.
He's got Hammerlock Hangover. He's got Garden of Doom. He's got Unpopular Review. He's gonna be doing a show with Conrad. If you can believe that, it's gonna be nuts.
Oh God!
I want you to tell me about the one time you worked with a podcaster named Drew Gary, and you have heat with him. Can you tell me about how that all worked out? Well, Jeff. I worked with Drew for a little bit. And he seems like a nice young man, but we couldn't really come to too much of an understanding as far as our podcasting views goes. You know what I mean? Yeah, we did. We didn't really. That's a terrible Jeff Lippman impression. I know he listens to the show. I'm gonna get a message saying that was a horrible impression.
It's like you was doing more of a Conrad more than anything. Like you were doing two different Conrads.
I don't know. I'm bad at it.
Drew Gary.
Huh? Roll Tide. Oh, John Draper's Conrad impression sounds like Mr. Garrison from South Park.
No, my favorite John Draper impression is the Mick Foley one he did. When he was making fun of Mick Foley for yelling at Sasha and Charlotte for trying to be in the Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yeah. You're never going to be the same. You're never going to be the same.
But he had me dying laughing. No, his Bray Wyatt is good, too. I'm the spooky man, Bray Wyatt. No, that one episode where they was talking about Bray Wyatt cheating on his wife with JoJo or whatever. And it goes, Pivot ain't easy.
As you can tell, Your Honor, by the clothes I'm wearing, I can't afford too much money.
Because my wife done took it all. She saw that JoJo took my soul. And in turn, she took all my money, all my riches, everything. Just locked away. And that's why I had to finally let him in.
Let him in.
So kind of switching gears, we can maybe talk about this, to end the show. It's like Alexa Bliss, put a thing saying that her pig Larry Steve unfortunately passed away. I forgot it was yesterday or the day before, and she put out a nice little heartfelt video just talking about it. I haven't seen it yet because I don't like. Again, it's like you. I don't like watching things I know are gonna depress me because.
Well, not even just that. That's just. Poor pig, but it's just like. I hate to sound cold, but it's just like. It's like, I'm sorry you lost your pig, but it's just like, life goes on. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel. It's not something I'm gonna hang my head low on. It's not like.
Yeah, you're right.
My neighbor across the street died.
Right, but it's just like it's one of those things where like I kind of have to be in the mood to be depressed.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, do I want to watch a Marvel movie or do I want to watch a movie about, the Civil War and racism and, and systematic oppression or, how women couldn't vote and were treated unfairly? It's like I'd rather watch Civil War for the 25th time. So,
right.
Yeah, it's just it sucks because I have pets, I have cats and dogs, and if anything happened to them, I would obviously be depressed if something happened to them. So it sucks for her. So, but rest in peace, Larry Steve. He was delicious.
He went there. He said, damn it, I'd do it again.
I had to. Hey, it's like you said, I'm the mean one. I have to be the mean one. RJ's the nice one. I'm the mean one. So I was waiting for your response. That's why I didn't say anything.
I'm behaving tonight.
You're RJ's being a good boy. He's not talking.
I haven't said anything bad about Kelly. I haven't said anything bad about Natty. Tamina, none of that. You know what? Tamina looked pretty fat the other night, actually. You know what? She need to hit that treadmill. God damn. Did you see that beer gut on her, by the way? Like, I got this brand new TV that I've had for like 2 months now. And like, I can see everything so much clearer. It's like 5K. It's LG TV. Like, I can see everything clearer now. And I can see the outline of Tamina's belly in her onesie. That's embarrassing. When you got more gut than me, that's a problem.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's...
Guess what, Drew? I don't work out every night.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. But since January, I've lost 60 pounds, so, go figure.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
I wish I can say the same.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's just, I'm all gut, if anything. Because it's one of those things where it's just like... I'm weird because, like, anytime I get on a program... When I say program, I don't mean like a professional weight loss thing, but it's just like when I start my own, I guess, like schedule, whatever you want to call it, of like I'm going to wake up at 11 in the morning and go run, or I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. It usually pays off in dividends, and then I end up falling off the wagon, so to speak. So I don't know. Like, I really do want to get rid of this gut because I want to be able to fit back into most of my shirts. And just, I don't know. I don't want to.
You want to go down a size? You want to go down a size like me?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I want to not have a heart attack by the time before I even turn 40, because I don't want to.
Oh God!
Blood pressure. I don't want to have bad blood pressure or cholesterol or diabetes, which a lot.
Do not speak it into existence, my man. Don't do it.
I'm saying I don't want to do it, so I'm going to do my best not to do it.
Right.
So, it doesn't help that I ate Larry Steve, but fuck.
Damn. God damn it. You ate Larry Steve, and I just purchased an Adam Cole t-shirt. Baby!
Yeah.
My guy.
I don't know why I just thought of this.
Woo.
I remember when Adam Cole debuted in NXT, I just remember Draper just shitting all over him. He puts stuff like, Adam Cole, baby! He's in NXT, baby! He's wearing mom jeans, baby!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That outfit, that was... Cole could have picked a better outfit than that. He looked like he was wearing his mom's jeans. And hey, look, like I said, I'm everybody knows I'm a big Adam Cole fan, but hey, Adam Cole do need to hit that gym, bro. He needs to hit that gym.
Yeah, he's the
height. You know that is what it is, but he can put some more muscle on that body.
Right, because there's no chance in hell he's gonna be on the main event of WrestleMania looking like that. Not
the main event of WrestleMania, but he'll have a spot because he can do one thing that Vince McMahon loves, and he can talk. So Cole will have a role, so to speak, bars. But yeah, like it won't be at the main event of WrestleMania unless he packs on some muscle. He's got to pack on something. I ain't saying he needs to go away and go on that Jinder Mahal gas diet, but he need to pack something on there because my God.
I mean,
my sister got bigger arms than you. You got problems, bro. And she only 15, about to be 16 in a couple of months. You got problems.
I mean, do you think people really hold it against him if he, got on the gas?
No, but I mean, it's not good for his personal health.
Right.
It ain't gonna be good for Britt Baker either.
Right. Well, here's what I'm pitching is like I'm not saying overdo it, but just I don't know.
Just enough to get sharp a little bit.
I'm not preaching do steroids because I don't want Adam Cole to die by the time he's 35 or something. But I don't know. I'm just saying the dude needs to put some muscle on, and also me and Adam Cole are the same age. So
right.
We're both July 89 babies.
Quit lying, man. You're 50. He's like 32.
Why do you keep saying that I'm 50?
50 years old. Everybody knows it.
God damn it.
You were part of the 10 rings of from Iron Man. You know it.
Hey now. I don't need you divulging secrets, my friend.
Drew Yari was the guy to the left, the far left. Don't in stock.
Is it because I'm Middle Eastern?
Well, if the shoe fits, man. If the shoe fits.
God damn it.
Just like when they look at me when the white girl down the street walks funny in the morning. Jesus. Hey, they give me the eye, and I'm just like, hey, if the shoe fits, man. But like that man said, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Hey, you can either take one of those ideologies and let it roll. Or you can be like my friend Shredder. Shout out to my big bro Shredder. If it don't apply, let it fly.
Hey, at least black people have good stereotypes. It's like, oh, you guys have big dicks and you know how to play basketball and can dance.
But we're also criminals, too.
Yeah, good point.
This lady literally came up to me yesterday and asked me, pretty much complimented me for not sagging. And I told her, I said, well, first and foremost, I said, I lost 60 pounds since being at this damn job, first and foremost. Number two, a lot of my clothes are extra baggy now, so I have no choice but to hike them up and like really tighten them up on my waist. So yeah, I'm not doing any sag, because if I sag, my pants are just going to fall right down to my ankles at this point. And I'm not trying to give any of you ladies a show right now. Because all you are old enough to be my grandmothers. And RJ is not in the... And I'm not in the gilfs.
Hey, why the fuck not?
Because I don't know. No way. No way, Jose.
You picky motherfucker.
Just...
Oh, my God.
Hey, man. Hey. I got to draw the line somewhere, all right?
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right.
I'm not buying no damn T and Shy shirt. What the hell? The fuck?
T and Shy?
I definitely ain't buying no the Way headband either. Get out of here with that bullshit. Fuck.
I mean, because we're already over 2 hours, I'll just bring this up and then we can call it a night. So next week they announce, the number one contender for Cross's title at In Your House is going to be a triple threat with Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and Johnny Gargano.
God!
And someone
Vince Miller, Melissa Etheridge, and fucking Kyle O'Reilly, who apparently has drip from wearing an outfit that I can easily buy at Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw that
great.
lineup, I'm like, yeah, they clearly do not have any competition for Cross. I mean, because either way, it'll be a good match because like with Brock and Roman, they wrestle smaller guys and they usually tend to have better matches. So it'll go that way for Cross, but it's just like I don't see Cross losing that title to anyone because I don't know if I told you already, but like I can see Cross just like dropping the title to Regal and saying I have no competition. I'm done. I did everything I needed to do.
They did the same thing with Asuka. Don't forget.
Well, didn't she get hurt?
No, she gave up the belt to leave and go to Raw, but she might as well have been hurt.
I could have sworn that she actually got hurt, and that's why she had to drop the title.
No, Drew, no. No, I'm not buying that coney ass Colorado t-shirt. What the fuck? I got me fucked up. Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa looking like they humping each other. I didn't want that either, man. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean,
that is a weird team up. By the way, they kissing each other and shit. What the hell? They kissing each other more than the Young Bucks used to kiss Adam Cole all the time.
Jesus Christ! Don't even get started on the young twinks. I can't stand those fuckers.
Young cucks.
You want to know something? You want to know something funny about that? They covered it. They said this on Cornette where Brian Last had said that he had gotten mail from or like fan mail from somebody in the gay community, where they were talking about his comments on referring to the Young Bucks as young twinks. And it's not because they were mad because, it was offensive, but they said, we as the gay community do not accept the Young Bucks.
You don't accept them at all. I remember hearing that, actually.
We do not accept the Young Bucks as representatives of the gay community.
Hey, can you blame them?
Oh, it's like... Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, Cross, there really isn't any realistic competition for him in NXT. So he's going to drop in, and he's going to head to the main roster and debut at the Rumble. That's how I see it. Because, yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, but I pitched an idea that he can debut in the Rumble, and that's how you build a feud with him and Cena. And that could be Cena's like retirement match. So, I don't know. But that's just me. I mean, we didn't really talk about the whole Cena-China thing, which I didn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's just something I would just kind of just like...
I didn't really see... I'll just keep it short and sweet to the point, and then we can just like call it a night. But like,
right.
I didn't really see what the big issue was because John Draper explained it to me that apparently Cena referred to Taiwan as a country, and China got pissed off about it, so he issued a formal apology in Chinese, and they're making a big stink about it. So I'm just like, I'm just like not in tune with Chinese policies because I kind of barely know about it. That China is a very much of a like a tyrannical government country, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And because there was the whole thing with LeBron James, where LeBron James had, I guess, stood up for China, and people were pissed off at him for it. But I don't know. I don't really care to get into it because this is a political free show. So
right. It's not something that I think that we should really divulge into like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a combination of like I don't really care to talk about it, and I don't really know too much about it. So,
right.
Is there anything you wanted to bring up in particular?
No, that's pretty much it, man.
So, for the listeners at home, this is kind of like, I guess, a little bit of a taste of our Patreon show. I mean, this is the regular Spreaker show. And this is also a little bit of what you can hear if you sign up to the Patreon show for just $5. $5 gets you everything, including show with RJ, show I'm doing with Ruben, where we review bad movies and also under the radar cult movies. and a show I do with Jeff Lippman from time to time. Just $5. That's all you need is just $5.
The son of a bitch is only $5.
$5 buckaroos. So
$5.
But yeah, this will be free. And I mean, I post the regular show on Patreon. That's like the full unedited, ad-free version. And then the ones with ads you hear on Spreaker. So all you need is $5. So I'll make sure to put the link in the description box. And yeah, that's really about it. Just please, $5. That's all I need. That's all we need is just $5. $5 buckaroos.
Just 5. 3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more.
5.
Time to kick your ass alive. We're really singing a lot of theme songs tonight.
Oh, hey, that's our thing, dude. We sing theme songs.
Yeah.
We sing theme songs and we talk about offensive things. Like
that's right.
Like how delicious Alexa Bliss's pig was.
Oh yeah. How delicious Noelle Easton looks.
God damn.
Great God.
So go ahead and plug your stuff.
Like my friend Axel's ex-fiance, how delicious she looks. Great God Almighty.
Great God Almighty. He's broken in half.
Yeah, I'll be broken in half if I dive in that. God damn. The hips are huge. Great God Almighty. RJ didn't make it out alive.
There's God
RJ said,
witness. Or somebody stop the goddamn sex.
She's pounded on him too hard. He can't make it out.
Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay. Go ahead and plug
Maria,
your
go
stuff,
down. Don't breathe through your nose. Breathe through your ears.
Is that supposed to be Booker T?
No. Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, my Booker T is, no. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Well, I'm talking about Booker T's commentary about just saying things that don't apply to anything. Where it's just
Shucky
like,
ducky, quack, quack.
like you see what he's doing? I don't like that. Booker, it's a tag team match. All I'm saying is he needs to put more effort into it. It's a man sport.
I don't like this guy's attitude. And then 5 minutes later, this man, he ain't got enough attitude. Like, what the hell?
All I'm saying is if you're going to eat spaghetti, you don't need another shirt.
He don't want no bread. He don't want no water. All he want is the meat dog. When Alicia Fox tried to pin Sasha Banks on the floor on her back. On her stomach. What are you doing? You can't pin her on the floor.
Batista is down. Batista is down. Batista is down.
He just got knocked, slapped the hell out.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shucky ducky, quack, quack.
Oh, man.
Naomi done made me drain my nutsack.
Look at what Roman's doing. What do you mean? He's just walking around like he's a champ. But Booker, he is the champ. All I'm saying is he needs to pay his dues.
He need to pay his dues and humble himself down a little bit. I think that's the problem.
He needs to chill out.
Dude. Ricochet, he smiles too much, Cole. I don't like it. But Booker, he needs some attitude. He needs to run up on Sheamus and he need to punch that boy in his mouth. Put him in his place and make him say, Daddy, Daddy, I don't want no more. Jesus Christ. Booker T.
I don't like what's going on here. Booker, there's no match going on. All I'm saying is there needs to be more to rile the crowd up. God damn it.
We need some strippers and hookers out here, damn it.
Okay, we need to stop. Go ahead and plug your stuff, dude.
Well, there's actually nothing going on with RJ right now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm doing shows sporadically. RJ and the Savage Squad show. Go follow that. Check that out. Like I said, I'm doing shows sporadically. At this point. And as far as the Brother Monty show goes, that is up in the air because, Monty is trying to get some stuff in order and stuff like that. So, your best bet to keep up with me is with the Drew Yari show. As long as Drew had me and stuff like that, We do the Patreon. I guess I'm exclusive to Drew Yari at this point. So yeah. But yeah, just like I said, just check out my solo stuff. I usually put things on Twitter and links on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you'll catch my stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I gotta hit up Shaheen later on, man. I got another project for him, and I'm trying to get something done for our show too, some art. So I don't know if Patreon allow you to use different art for different shows, but
oh no, it's Patreon's cool about it. I mean, because it's a privately owned thing, so you have to pay to get in. But about Shaheen, I had wrote him about possibly getting some artwork done. I didn't get a reply because I think Shaheen's a busy boy because he's actually going to be doing the NFT stuff.
Oh,
and those pay a pretty penny, so
yeah,
probably won't be hearing back from him for a while. And I had mentioned this to you briefly, but pretty soon I'm going to be going back to a different work schedule. It's not going to affect the show. I mean, it will and it won't. It will in a good way, but I'm going back to my original work schedule that I had before, which was Wednesdays and Thursdays off, and I'll be working nights again, which is good for me personally because I can't. I don't like waking up early. I thought I could handle it, but I really can't. So that's really the only reason why. So pretty soon I'll be going back to that schedule, and I put up a poll asking, what day I should, record, and for example, I put, should I go back to doing Thursday at 5 p.m., which was my original, showtime, recording, and that got the most votes. So that's the way it looks. Pretty soon I'll be recording on Thursdays at 5 p.m., which was a perfect time because that gave me enough time to watch both shows and divulge them. And any other bit of news that comes up, we have that to talk about. So, stay tuned for that. I'll definitely keep you in the loop for that. And then as far as the Patreon show goes, again, it's not going to affect it. If any, because I'll have Wednesdays off, we can record on a Wednesday, or we can, maybe record early in the morning. So, yeah, we have that to look forward to. So, yeah, we are done. We've done over 2 hours just saying a bunch of stupid shit and doing impressions. And, yeah. So, RJ's been on his best behavior, and I've been the bad one. RJ's the face, and I'm the heel.
Yep. Tamina need to lose that gut, so... What you think? What you think? What you think? What you? I think you need to go hit some sit-ups. Sit-ups.
Anyways, dude, we are out, and I'll make sure to put up RJ's information in the description box, as well as the Patreon. But yeah, just sign up for $5. $5 a month gets you our show, and me and Ruben's show, and me and Jeff's show. So, and also
get us raw, cutty, and unnut. Yes, I said that backwards on purpose.
Nuts. Anyways, guys, peace. Take care. Peace. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.